Hello, and welcome back to a spooktacular episode of the Making Fire podcast. This week we're talking about, and you might be gagged at this, Survivor 49 and not Heroes vs. Villains. We're
Which we were on.
Which we were on. We're talking about Survivor 49, episode 5, I'm a Wolf, baby. This week we're in costume, you guys, because it is a special Halloween episode. Next episode is coming out after Halloween, most likely, and so we wanted to make sure we got our costumes in before the spooky season ends. So, I'm here with Courtney Yates, infamous two-time Survivor player, runner-up, and I'm Sandra Diaz-Twine. Half my heart is in Afghanistan.
I'm just so obsessed with your shirt. I think it's also reading so well on camera that like half my heart part is.
Guys, okay, so while we were sitting here and talking for like an hour, the Afghanistan did sort of start falling apart. But it hasn't. Maybe Maddie will insert the picture. I sent her the picture of what it looks like after I finished it. It was much fresher than this. But baby, half my heart is in Afghanistan.
Wow, which half?
The bad half. Before we get into the dirty details of Survivor 49, Courtney Yates, I have to ask, how are you?
I am doing so great. Thank you so much for asking. Happy to not be on that island anymore, all of that. But no, this week has been so fun. What I want to talk about though, the past few weeks, I've had a couple things of like crafting that I've been doing, and I just need to get back into crafting. Or I guess I never really was like into crafting, but like I had so much fun painting my little shirt. I don't know if you can see, it is Courtney's bikini from Heroes vs. Villains that she wore. And while I was making this, I was like, it is just so fun and therapeutic to just like put together a little craft and like paint and do all of that, and I just had a really good time with it. And so, leave your recommendations down below. The thing is, for crafting. The thing is, I don't feel like I'm that creative. So I enjoy painting when it comes to like painting solid things or like painting with a guideline. I'm not like a painter or anything like that. I like following an instruction. I like having this is how to do this, but then it turns out cute. I tried getting into crocheting a few years ago, but it just that wasn't it for me, so we can leave that off the table. But I don't know, I used to have a sewing machine. I need to get a new one because sewing is so fun. But I don't know. Oh my gosh, okay, well, speaking of crafting, I have really been in that sort of mindset lately. I don't know if it's the fall, getting cozy. I've gone back into my coloring books. I hadn't done them in a long time, but those what are they even called? The markers? What are the Ohuhu markers?
Ohuhu or something.
Yes, I got a big set of those like a year ago, and hey, they've held up so well. And those little cute coloring books, I know there was some controversy with them, which I haven't bought in a while. I don't even remember what it was about, but anyways, they're perfect for like, they're not too intricate, because that's what I want. That's the hard thing with adult coloring books, is I don't want something super detailed that I have to like really like pay attention to, but I also don't want to be coloring a children's book that's like Disney. Right. So but that has been so fun. I love getting all cozy, watching my fall TV shows, and having a little thing to do, a little creative outlet. Having a little fun.
A little cozy, kooky fun.
Yes. Well, Sandra Diaz-Twine, how are you?
I can get loud too. What the fuck? I'm gonna see how many I can pull from the noggin this episode. How many Sandra quotes I can pull. Oh yeah, I can get loud too. What the fuck? Thank you so much for asking. I'm doing great. I have to talk, y'all. I'm in my walking era. I'm in my podcast era, and now I'm in my music era yet again. I just have, like, it really cycles through between podcast and music. Like, sometimes I'm in the mood, I just want to hear other people talk, you know? Like, I just want, like, to listen to the same thing for, like, an hour, maybe an hour or 20, and just listen to people say what they're gonna say. Whether that be something important or not, whatever. But right now I'm really in my music era yet again. I just love listening to an album. I think my favorite new album, there's been a lot of new releases this fall, but I'm really loving Doja Cat's new album.
Ooh, Ooh, I haven't
V.
listened.
I think it's V. It's VIE. It's quite good. There's sort of like an 80s sort of pop influence. I do really like it. She only had one single from the album, which was Jealous Type, I believe, and I really like that as a single. But all the songs, I really do like it. The start of it is very poppy. It's very fun. I really am. If you're wanting a spooky season, Amen, which kind of gives like a thriller vibe. I think in content more than sound, maybe. There's a little bit of like a spooky pop thing without. Anyway, I just recommend it. If you haven't listened to it, listen to Doja Cat's new album. There's been a bunch of new releases. I quite like that one. I'm always in my art pop era by Lady Gaga. That is one of my favorite albums of all time, and I just find it consistently like all year round. I'm just like, I can listen to this album and be happy.
I love that. Thank you for those recommendations too. I have been not necessarily in a music rut. I've been in a weird place with music right now. I feel like normally as we get into fall, I have very specific like fall playlists that I've made years ago that I still love to listen to. But I just have not been in like the fall spirit. So lately, I've like exclusively been listening to playlists that are okay, it might be AI. I don't know. Spotify, I don't know how it all works and whatever. You can now like make playlists easier without having to like add the songs. And so I made a specifically Beyonce, Renaissance, and Bad Bunny album or playlist. And it is so fun to listen to, especially with him performing at the Super Bowl.
I know.
But I feel like their music is very fun together in a playlist. But I don't know. That's like not fall music at all.
Bad Bunny, my fellow Puerto Rican diva.
Oh, yes.
I for real though, Bad Bunny, that's my man. Oh, that's my
yes.
man. One letter his down. Missing the N. The last N in Afghanistan has unfortunately fallen off. Anyway, let's get into this episode. Let's get into this episode. How are you feeling about it?
I'm enjoying the season.
Girl, the haters are hating.
The haters are hating so bad right now. But to speak my complete and honest truth, I'm having a great time. I really enjoy the people. And I feel like this is such a breath of fresh air coming off last season to me. Like, I'm having a great time.
I feel like this is going to be a season in history people are going to reflect on and be like, oh, we should have given it more applause. We should have given it more credit. I think the looming shadow cloud of Survivor 50 is above us, and people are letting that sort of shift their judgment. And I don't think people are being honest about that. I think some people are. They're like, okay, I'm just ready for season 50. But I think there isn't an acknowledgement that a lot of the negativity I feel like that's coming towards season 49 is coming from people's expectations for Survivor 50. I also think a lot of people know who wins this season, and a lot of people know, I feel like, what the end game looks like. I feel like that, like, a lot of people know.
How do they know?
I think people have just used their context clues. I think people know who's on Survivor 49. And I think I don't know. I feel people know. I don't think I know, but I think people out there know. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I myself am a 2-time Survivor winner, so I'm sort of in the circle.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean,
like,
of course.
Right. But I think people... I think people, even if people don't know who wins the season, I think people might know who does well. Specifically are maybe looking at people who are on Survivor 49 or on Survivor 50. I think, I feel like that people know at least who one person is on Survivor 50. And I think all your focus is on them because you're like, oh, well, they're going to be the main characters of this season because we know they're going to be on Survivor 50, right? Like, you just know to expect, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people have expectations.
And I guess if people are coming into it having some idea of things, then they're being like more critical of it from the beginning. I don't know.
That's what I feel. And I feel a lot of people, I just think there's this, like, this want of Survivor 50 already. And I'm like, girls, just appreciate what we have right now. I feel like this has been, I thought that this was a nice episode. I think there are some questionable, maybe, game decisions happening. But I like the people. And I feel like there's some very fun dynamics happening. I specifically am liking the dynamic between Savannah and Jawan, and I'm liking the dynamic, obviously, between Sophie, our Sage, and Shannon.
Yeah.
But even then, like, we've already had fun story. This 5-episode arc we have of Sophie, going to every single tribal council. This woman is on literal empty. Like, there's storylines on here that are that I'm enjoying.
And I feel like every single person is, like, playing the game.
Right.
And they're wanting to play the game in ways that we didn't get to see last season. Where maybe it was, like, just Kyle and Camilla who were wanting to play Survivor in a more, like, fun... I don't know how to quite explain it. But I'm really, really enjoying this season. I really like the cast. And I think they're all thinking for themselves in a lot of ways. Like, there isn't this just big group mentality. Like, everyone is thinking, everyone is doing things, and we're getting to see that. I think it also can build to be something really interesting, like, once they're merged. I mean, like, fundamentally, as we've said, literally every episode this season, I think the 3 tribes start, like, they had to sort of build their way up from that. But even on these 2 tribes right now, there's so much going on in each of them. So much, like, interesting plays and dynamics happening. And I'm really enjoying it.
I think the asterisk that I'll give to that comment, and where I can see, because I just hate everything you say, I think the asterisk that I put against that and understand where some people are coming from, where they're like, this season has not been so exciting, is that there's a lot of talk happening but not a lot of action happening. I think we as the audience are being presented this back and forth. Specifically this episode, we're told by Savannah, not even 3 minutes into the episode, she's like, if I have anything to say about it, like, Jason is probably gonna go home next. Like, it's just the totem pole, you know, like, it makes sense for him to go. And then we go this whole episode, and she's like, oh, well, as the audience being set up, is this going to be Jawan or is it going to be Jason? What's going to happen? And then it just ultimately ends up being Jason, which in itself is like, that's the predictable. We just sat here for 90 minutes, and the thing that we were told was going to happen 3 minutes into the episode ended up just happening anyway.
That's true.
But I liked the journey we went on to get there. I liked seeing the discussions of what's possible, even if it was just the producers fluffing up the reality of what was actually happening. Like, the odds are the Kela tribe, or the Hina tribe was probably, the new Hina tribe was probably just, like, already set on that when they lost, you know? But I liked the fluffing up of everything. I really loved, and we'll get to it, but this dynamic between Sage and Shannon and what's going on the Kela tribe, it's very interesting.
There's really good, like, drama happening. I guess there's not as much action, but there is a lot of, like,
separation.
Inner drama and conflicts that are, like, under the surface, but you can tell that everyone is feeling them. I don't know.
And it'll be interesting. I just can't wait to see how this turns out.
Cannot wait.
Let's get into the specific deets of the episode here. So we open up after Matt has just been voted out on the new Hina tribe. Again, Jason is thankful he's still around. He's happy that he lived to see another day. Savannah thinks that this is going pretty swell for her. Everything she wants to happen is going her way. And ultimately, her hope would be Jason could go next, because that just makes the most sense for her game specifically.
I mean, yeah. And, like, I don't know, maybe there are conspiracy theories about how the tribes are split up and all of that, and, like, how, like, the split between new Kela and new Hina and, like, all the old people. But I feel like they're kind of working with what they've got. Like, I think it makes sense when you have such big majorities. Like, on each tribe and like it coming down to like tribe lines. I don't know. I feel like it just makes sense. That doesn't mean it's always the most interesting thing to happen, but like they're also working within the game themselves. Like they're not going to intentionally try and like self-sabotage to make things interesting.
Right. Like $1 million is on the line. They're going to do what best suits them.
Yeah.
Which can be unfortunate from a viewer's perspective because sometimes you want things to be spicy, but you know.
I don't feel like it's them intentionally choosing to not be spicy.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
But I do feel like we're getting spiciness. Again, not to keep talking about these same points, but I'm like, even if it's just being fluffed up and really Jawan never really had a chance of going home, maybe we're building up for a larger story. I mean, like, we're definitely building up a story with Shannon and Sage right now. I thought that was going to culminate this episode. Like, the way it was being set up, like, I was like, I think Shannon's going home this episode before the challenge ended up happening. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what ends up coming from this. And hopefully the story isn't being built up. Because I feel like we've already had sort of a letdown moment this season with all the dynamics of the OG Keller tribe. And then Jake ends up getting medevaced, and then Jeremiah ends up just going out. And it's like, okay, that was kind of anticlimactic as we were prepping up this like big 4 group in this tribe. And then there was no real tension from that. So it'll be interesting to see where the show ends up going with these relationships. That same night on the Kele tribe, they are safe from tribal, but the Hinas are, you know, coming back from tribal. But on the Kele tribe, they're sleeping, and out of nowhere, Shannon sort of turns to Steven in the middle of the night, and it's very clear she's sort of working on self-preservation mode. And she proposes to Steven. She's like, we need a 2-2-2 split. It should be 2 OG Kellas, 2 Hinas, and 2 Umis, and that should sort of be our alliance moving forward. Steven, of course, is nodding his head, yes, and, because why would I say no to an alliance? Like, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
And I guess she ends up proposing this same alliance to Alex the next morning, and Christina ends up getting in on it too, and Shannon starts pushing to these people that she is down to vote Sage if necessary, like to build that trust. She's willing to do that. There's just a lot going on very early in the morning. A lot of pieces are starting to move, and nobody's even had their cup of
Well, she's already been up, done her daily devotionals, all of that, and she's ready to
daily devotionals, of course. She went to the Bible app on her phone that she has out there, and she said, what's my... Rowan and I, my sibling Rowan and I were playing Roblox the other day, and somebody's name on there was, like, I love Jesus something. And she kept talking in chat, and I was like, this girl is annoying me. And then I was like, you know what? I'll get her going. And I said... I love you, Jesus. I was just wondering what your favorite verse is. Oh, and that got her going. That got her going in chat. She was like, oh my god, there's so many to choose from. And I just felt like I was inspiring a generation. That's all I can say. You know?
Sure.
Oh my god, like, whatever. So, we wake up, the day starts, Steven is a little flustered, he's like, so much information has just been thrown at me, what is going on? Steven and MC, another great episode for MC, by the way. This is like 3 good episodes in a row, I feel like.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with MC, must I say.
So obsessed with her.
Steven and MC are talking, and they're like, this is feeling disingenuous, like, she's doing a lot of talking and a lot of stuff. The spirituality stuff is weird. It's iffy. MC points out in sort of a confessional moment. She's like, yeah, the way that Shannon is playing this game is sort of how I wanted to play this game. And it's scary to have somebody like that out here. So we need to sort of nip that in the bud while we can.
I'm so glad that people are seeing Shannon and her game for what it is.
It makes you wonder that it's like, if there wasn't... We'll get there later, but when Sage finally has that moment in the camp with Alex and Steven, and she's like, oh my god, I can go in. It sort of feels like these are sort of the conversations you have in the background, but it takes one person. Like, unless somebody is upfront with about it and is like, we need to call Shannon out for what she's doing. That seems like a thing that nobody is ready to, like, talk about, you know?
Well, it's hard to want to be, like, the one person to be like, hey, is anyone else noticing this?
Yeah.
And like, what if they are really close to Shannon and then it backfires? But I think
Yeah.
hearing other people also, I mean, we'll get there.
It's the tiptoeing, and there's enough tiptoeing around to make a lot enough sound that it's like, okay, we can really go in about this.
And it's interesting because it seems like everyone on the tribe but Christina is sort of having these emotions, or like having these feelings.
But I think where obviously Shannon is making these really emotional and vulnerable connections with people based on things that really are like oldest daughter, what are the other mom,
passing.
like sure, all these things. I feel like her deepest and most vulnerable connection was with Christina, and like they kind of crossed the line. Obviously, the question of everybody, all the players, is like, is Shannon really being genuine? Even if she's not, it is still kind of scary, but. Or even if she is, it's still kind of scary.
Yeah.
But if she's not, then that is like, we need to get rid of this now. Because this is the way that she's playing this game is pretty, like, critical. You know, like, she could really, like, get in. And I think that's why she's had why Christina ultimately is, like, iffy about it. Because they have such a deep connection. A deep connection.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means, I'm not familiar. Shannon's TikTok did finally make its way onto my For You page, so I did take a gander. And the shift is crazy.
Yeah.
It was also, I'm glad that it wasn't just us having these feelings and like speaking about them, because then I was seeing clips of other people on their own podcast being like, you'll see in this.
Right. We go back to the Hina tribe, and Jason is starting to I'm like, this is what happens in Survivor, is we're realizing things too late. And I think I brought this up last episode, where Jason is like, it's in my hands to change my path in this game. Like, if I want to stay safe, like, I have to do something about it. Baby, you should have done that 2-3 days ago when you guys swapped on this tribe and realized you were in the minority. You should have spent the moment from stepping on that beach trying to find an end somewhere.
It feels like he's been isolating himself this entire time too. Like, I even forgot to mention, but when they came back from tribal that night before, you see them all sort of settling in for the night, but Jason goes to sleep on the beach by himself.
Right.
And like, I just, like, you continuing to separate yourself from everyone else, like, it's not like the vibes and the energy that like play off of that is just like, you're closing yourself off.
Right. And you need to really show yourself as an open book if you're wanting to survive amongst the others, you know?
Right. It's not always about what you say. It's about, like, just how you are around others. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. Like, you need to be more comfortable with them, I think. Maybe he snores loud, though, and they're like, you can go down on the beach.
Maybe he's just being so kind to the others, really put himself... really separate himself.
Yeah.
Jason wants to break down the tribal lines. He wants to really make personal connections with people, and he finds this most immediately with Jawan, where they can sort of like nerd out together. And they talk about Pokemon.
Jawan, I feel like, plays a similar role that Sifu did in a lot of ways. Like, he's there, but he's kind of aloof to what's going on. And
allegedly... I don't know. I really am confused about this Jawan edit. Because you're right, he does seem, they're portraying him as aloof. The next scene, which I can bring up real quick, is that Jawan ends up accidentally stealing Savannah's water bottle and is drinking from it. Again, which I'm like, how does that even happen?
I don't, like, being careless, I guess?
So, obviously, we're getting this aloof edit from him, which is very prominent, but then... in the grand scheme of what ends up happening with this vote tonight, Jason ends up voting Rizzo and not Jawan, which means Jawan was more persuasive than, like, Savannah was, if that makes sense. Because Rizzo was the name that Jawan and Jason talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that dynamic, instead of because Savannah went up to the Jays are really like freaking me out right now. Savannah went up to Jason and was like, not to jump ahead, but was like, save yourself, push something, like we can break down tribal lines. And obviously Jason does not end up falling for that, and he ends up thinking that Jawan has his back. You know what I mean? Like, he thought that Jawan was going to be the one that voted with him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much that says about, like, Savannah versus Jawan.
No,
versus,
I definitely
like,
don't think that. Yeah, that wasn't me being like, Jawan's playing better than Savannah. I don't think that's the case.
No. Like, I just don't know that Jason. I'm not really sure where Jason's head was at with things.
Right.
So I think he might have just connected better with Jawan on like the nerdy stuff. It kind of felt like Jason never really had a grasp of like what was going on this tribe.
Sort of like in general in the game. Like even back in the Ojihina tribe, he never really had a good standing with the people.
No, he was just good at puzzles.
Right.
So I don't know. Oh, Jason.
That's just my thoughts, Jason and Jawan.
Yeah.
We're back on the we're doing a lot of back and forth here, y'all.
It was a lot.
It was a lot of back and forth. The Kelly tribe, and Shannon calls Alex the survivor Zaddy as he catches a crab. Now, how does that make you feel personally?
I'm just like not really getting that vibe from Alex. But...
Oh, so you think Alex is too feminine? You think he's too good? You think he lives up in his high rise and he orders DoorDash? You think you don't think he could be like a manly man to catch a crab?
Right. I mean,
that's
like,
what you said. That's what I heard you say.
No, I just think he's not necessarily giving Zaddy.
Oh. I will say, and I would agree. Afghanistan is falling apart right now, you guys. I feel like I don't think he's Zaddy material, but I'm like, okay, is he, the island hot? Like some men on the show, as they stay on the island longer. You know what I'm talking about?
I feel like he's got a nice smile.
I feel like
I don't know.
I don't think he's Zaddy, but I'm like, well, I feel like there's something there.
He's not giving, like, hot to me, though.
To quote Mike Bloom, there's something there, like, there's something there.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, he seems
that's a
nice.
conversation for another time. We don't really need to go in. You're a married woman. Like, we don't really need to, like, break that down. But anyway, so Shannon calls Alex survivor Zaddy. And Sage, we then get a fun quote from Sage where she says, under her breath, voice gets higher when someone else is around, about Shannon.
I love Sage so much.
I do too. This is a great episode for MC, great episode for Sage. This was really honestly Sage's episode, which is crazy because they didn't even go to tribal.
Yeah.
But arguably, I would say this episode was like splitsies between MC and Sage, but like Sage really carried. Sage points out that Shannon likes to find something about someone and can like really go into that deep, can really dig in on that aspect of this person.
Yeah. But you know what? That's like now that I've done a little bit more digging, that's sort of like her brand. Like that's literally like what she does for her, I don't know if it's her job, but her a women's group or whatever, like connection that has turned more Jesus based. But like that's like what she does is she leads these groups where she's connecting with these people. And so yeah, she knows how to turn that on.
I mean, get your back, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not paying for it, but someone is.
Yeah.
At some point, Shannon... Okay, so I saw this... I didn't write this down when it happened, so I don't remember exactly when the episode happened, but I think it's in this segment on the Kelly tribe. Shannon and Sage and I think Sophie were sitting on the beach, or maybe it was... I think it was MC, maybe after she got back from there. Anyway, they're sitting on the beach, and Shannon pulls out sort of this all-time quote, where she says... You can get high off of anything, Goats get high off of hay. Jesus gets high off of God, right?
Exactly.
It's just giving, like, and hey, not to offend anybody, Maddie and I can say this. It's giving camp counselor. It's giving camp counselor at a Jesus camp that is a little removed from well, sort of if you think about it. I don't think that is ever talked about enough, where there's sort of like religious elements to the things that we would do when we were camp counselors.
Like undertones?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Oh, the earth is good to me, and so I thank the earth for giving me. I think that is actually a Jesus song, and I think that the teachers changed the lyrics. I think
really?
I think it's a Jesus song.
I always took that as like a Mother Earth thing.
No. That's still spiritual in a sense, even though it's not like religious, but it's still like, but there's definitely, I feel like, religious undertones.
Okay, no, now that you say that, I hear what you're saying. I think I always interpreted it as like, first of all, Mother Nature, but then also like we're respecting like where we are and like we're out in nature.
If we do that, maybe we throw in a land acknowledgement here or there or something.
Yeah.
Not to dig on something that happened at this point almost 10 years ago.
Oh my God. Crazy?
Is that not insane?
That's crazy.
Next year is going to be 10 years since our first year that we did that. Is that not insane?
No way.
Yeah.
10? Wow. It's not too many more years until we will have known each other longer than we haven't known each other.
So true. Sorry not to get emotional on the pod, you guys.
Well, we just had our 100th episode last week.
I know. Could y'all believe that? I was texting, again, friend of the pod, well, friend of me. I don't think he listens, but Austin, I was like, yeah, because he was like, I saw that you guys had like sunglasses and ties on. I was like, yeah, we were sort of in costume for our 100th episode. He said, 100 episodes? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Back to Shannon. So she's really playing hard. We saw in the morning that she's really getting on people's, not nerves, but people are catching on to this game that she's playing. Specifically, Alex and Steven are starting to talk. Alex likes that she wants to play the game. He appreciates that. And specifically coming from, a tribe that had already been playing the game, like it felt good that somebody wanted to talk game with him. However, he doesn't like hearing that she's having similar conversations with people like Steven. It's making him feel not special and realizing that she's just really, really playing the game hard.
And I think he even mentions that it was nice to have someone want to come play the game with him. And like come talk to him and talk strategy. But yeah, that girl's dangerous.
That girl is dangerous. I think what specifically, this dynamic hasn't been talked about a lot in the episodes, but I think what's interesting is that Shannon is building this alliance to Steven and is presenting it like 2-2-2. And she's like, oh, well, you and Christina, Steven and Christina, right? But we know that MC is Steven's number one ally. And so I think it's doing Shannon more disservice by not including MC. And there's no way for her to know that.
But the way she's playing almost feels like she thinks that no one else is playing the game.
Right.
Specifically, like in how she talks to Sage. She thinks that Sage just is there having fun.
Right.
And so it kind of feels like Shannon thinks that if people are not talking to her about plans, then they're not making any plans. They have nothing going on.
Which is interesting. I guess that's a good way to think. I don't know. Not a great way to think, but like you don't want to over obsess about what other people are talking about. And I think that's something that Steven suffered from in the premiere episode where he was like, what are people saying? Like, what do I not know what people are saying? Like, you don't want to get to that level, but you ultimately don't want to also think that nothing else is going on and you're the only one controlling the conversation. I think that happens for a couple people in Survivor history. I think, I don't know, like Boston Rob, we always talk about like really infamous like controlling games. Kim Spradlin, Boston Rob, like those are winning games where they actually were the ones controlling basically every single conversation. Like they knew what was going on. But you have to be so particular about what you're doing. And you kind of have to get lucky to be with the right people, types of people for that to work. And I I think Shannon is with more gamers than she realizes.
I think so too. Also, 1 second. I'm gonna go grab a glass of water.
Okay.
No, you stay. Oh. Hi, beautiful. Oh, sorry. I did not mean to bonk you. I'm not used to wearing a hat. I went to go give Frank a kiss on the head and I just bonked him.
And that was recorded and it will be reported. Recorded and reported.
Wait, I have to pull up my notes. There was something about... Oh, we'll get to it later.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, are we ready?
Yeah.
So, Alex is mad with... Or not mad, but... So, Alex and Steven are talking and they're realizing that this is not adding up, and she being Shannon is really overplaying. They walk up to camp and Sage is sort of sitting by herself eating fruit I'm guessing that they won the day prior. And Sage is like, hey, I'm feeling a little left out right now. They're all talking. And so then they wander over to her and they sit down and they're like, sorry, we didn't mean to leave you out, but we were just talking about, Shannon, and she seems like she's playing really hard. And Sage has a moment. She's like,
you think that too?
You think I'm a star? You think I'm good? You think I'm really good? That's how it felt. And she was just so gobsmacked. She was so excited, and she was like, wait, can I be... She said, is this a safe/brave space? Like, can I be open? And they're like, of course. And she was like, you guys, she's been playing y'all this whole time. Like, she has been... This is her shtick. This is her thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm so happy that you guys are finally seeing it, because I've seen it literally since day one. Mm-hmm. They tell her that Shannon is throwing Sage under the bus, and Shannon said that she's willing to vote Sage out if necessary. And that gagged Sage. She said, oh, baby, the floodgates are open. They're open now.
Yeah.
I was holding back. I felt a little bad. I don't feel bad at all anymore.
No. I'm so happy that she got to have this breakthrough.
Me too.
And, connect with the other people.
Exactly.
And just have her feelings validated.
Right. I think that's an important thing. I think that's sort of an underrated thing that can feel hard in Survivor, is if you... it can be hard having nobody listen to you. For 20 days, 20 plus days. It's just I need someone. I'm not crazy. Yeah. I'm not. Let's go back to the Hina tribe. Our friends over at the Hina tribe. They are talking about social media, and Nate is learning yet again a new thing. Mukbangs. I just forget people just don't be knowing things. And that's not his fault. Because, why would Nate know what a mukbang is?
Right.
But I'm like, girl, mukbangs are so 2017.
Yeah.
And y'all just have to be there to be there. Ugh. Do you have a favorite mukbanger?
No, because I can't listen to people eat. The eating noises. I was
a big, Be Lovely. She would do a lot of seafood boils. I also liked... Who's the one that would do, the horror stuff? She always does, true crime while she eats. I can't remember. But, Stephanie Sue, maybe? She had drama with Nikocado Avocado. Are you familiar with Nikocado Avocado?
Yes.
Guys, vaguely. Don't make a comment about this. I don't want yes or no's in the comments. One time my stepbrother said I look like Nikocado Avocado, and that actually traumatized me. He said, you kind of look like him. Why the fuck would you say that? And you know what? Fuck you too. And I don't want anything. I don't want no discourse. I just needed it to be said, and I needed to be put out into the universe. Thank you.
And you know what? Thank you for speaking your truth on that.
They're talking about mukbangs. Nate is so confused. He's like, what the hell is... He said, what the hell is even this? And a suddenly a boat comes out of nowhere. And then I also hear someone say, I think maybe Savannah goes, it's giving Journey. No, like it's giving Journey.
It's giving Journey.
I know Nate is lost as fuck. He said it's giving what?
It's giving someone's about to like risk their vote.
It's giving like someone's about to lose their vote and then maybe earn an advantage or something. Like that's what it's giving. For the Kelly tribe, MC clearly is just like, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna head on out. And MC gets on that boat, great for her. On the Hina tribe, no. Oh yeah, on the Hina tribe, girl, these names, y'all piss me off. The Hina tribe, Jason is quick to say, I don't want to go, obviously. And Nate and Savannah are like, well, maybe not exactly that. And so they also put themselves in. And Jawan, another, hey, not to promote Jawan.
No,
Jawan's just on another plane. He's just doing moves that nobody can prepare us for. This is why I'm confused. I'm like, okay, so you get this really big aloof edit, but then you do stuff like this where I'm like, wait a minute, like you're kind of moving and grooving here.
And where you're clearly playing for one side.
Right.
Like, if he really wanted to work with Jason, imagine... and build a bond, like Jason coming back with something and then like telling him about it would have been a really big thing, but
Jason, so Jawan is like, we should draw rocks to see who goes. So he finds one white rock, two black rocks, and puts them in the bag, but then specifically places the white rock on top. So when he goes to Nate first, Nate pulls the white rock.
Genius.
He rigs the vote. Stop the count. This is the voter fraud they've been talking about.
Yeah.
Y'all worried about American presidential elections. You need to worry about what's going on in Survivor. That's all I'm saying. I think we need to rework our priorities a little bit.
I think we aren't talking about this enough.
Hey, and that's what this platform is for. We're talking about the real issues.
This wasn't Jawan's first time skewing the vote.
Jawan,
he thought of it a little too quickly.
We'll get you on the pod so you can defend yourself a little bit. We'll have a little bit of debate on here.
I have to talk about the Louvre situation.
The what?
the Louvre. The jewels that were stolen. Have you heard about this?
Oh my god. I thought you said the lube situation. And I was like, what?
What? No, the Louvre.
Yeah, I heard. I'm familiar. What were you up to that day? Where were you on January 6th?
No comment. Well, I know where you were on January 6th.
I was in Washington, D.C. at the Capitol.
Yes. It's interesting that you're sort of free right now. Well, you have been this whole time. You would have been anyways, apparently.
It's so true.
Anyways, that whole situation, like, obviously...
That was a joke. I was not at the Capitol on January 6th. I was in my political theory class. Thank you very much.
I remember where I was. I had my politics class that day. My professor was like, hey, let's sort of just lock into what's going on online right now.
That's really interesting. Do you remember which professor that was?
Yes, it was my advisor.
Okay, and that makes sense. My professor that I had, he was like, so none of us were focused that day in my politics class. Understandably, right, our government was being overthrown. And he was like, why is nobody paying attention? Why is nobody wanting to talk right now?
No way.
Yes, he was like, is it because of the stuff that's been going on? And we're like, yes.
I'm pretty sure I could be wrong. Someone that was in that class with me, feel free to comment. I think he might have even canceled class and said, hey, follow this and take notes on what's going on, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Which makes sense. Was that in the intro course that you were in?
No.
Or was it like
it actually might have been it might have been campaigns and elections. Or the U.S. presidency. I don't remember. It was one of them.
Mine was intro to political theory. So it wasn't really like a U.S. specific course. So I could understand maybe. But I remember him being like, why is everybody like kind of lost today? Like, what's going on? Like, maybe, what do you mean what's going on? They're overthrowing. Nancy Pelosi's in the bunker right now.
Meemaw's pulling up in a Viking hat.
Right. They're standing on her. They're pissing on her desk. AOC has a bounty out for her right now. Like, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on at the moment. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, I don't even know. How did that...
I was talking about the Louvre.
I was like,
and you
what
asked
is
where I
going
was.
The Louvre. Okay, talk about the Louvre. What's going on with the Louvre?
Oh, just like the stuff being stolen. And I
Right.
think like, you know, theft is bad generally. But I do think sort of the Gen Z response to this has been quite funny because like it really does not affect us.
No, it
And it's like,
doesn't.
why should I care so much about something so expensive and like wealth that I would never attain in my lifetime? Like, why would I care? And all of the like people, the people like making videos and like pretending like they were there is so funny.
They, to me, I don't feel bad specifically. I don't know the makeup of the Louvre, but I think about like the British Museum and how like
Yeah.
so much of that stuff is not actually theirs. And I know the French is the French is not that different. The French were just as colonizing as the British.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't really feel bad. You guys probably got those diamonds or whatever in a very
Yes.
non-ethical way.
I was gonna say, where
So
did you even get them to begin with?
that's
Like,
what I'm saying.
where
I
were
know
they
don't be grown in
created?
France.
Oh.
You guys got the catacombs there. Your underground is a little occupied.
Have you actually heard about how that? This is a different podcast. I watched the whole thing on France and their like original cemetery situation, and then that led to the catacombs. Anyways, can move on.
No, let's sit with that for a second. Well, you have a lot. You're a primary source. You have a lot of first-hand experience
Of what?
of France.
I've never been to Paris.
Okay, like how was I supposed to know that? Where you have and have not been,
Right.
guys. We're referencing that Maddie's going to be on the next season of Destination X.
Oh my god. I would love to be on Destination X. Please get me on there.
While Maddie's working on that, let's go back to the Hina tribe where Nate just picked the rock and is going on the boat to the journey. It's giving journey. It's giving white rock. It's giving risk your vote.
Yes.
We hop to the journey. MC and Nate, we learn they have to work together to move a bunch of sandbags to go from one spot to another, from one spot of the island to the other spot of the island in a certain amount of time. It looks like no less than 100 sandbags that they have to move. Quite heavy, quite exhausting. It's a hot day. MC, reminder, has already lost her vote because she has the beware advantage that she has to look for once they lose tribal. Nate does not know this and also just does not want to lose his vote because that would be sucky. It's a lot of back and forth. They're talking to each other. MC's really working hard and she's like, I don't know if I want to talk, but it's nice that we are able to, get to know each other and
Distract ourselves
in this. They make their way probably 75% of the way down, and MC finds a box. And on top of the box, there is a plaque that says, in the canopy, the tree canopy next to y'all, there is somewhere under a rock a hidden advantage. If you would like, the first person to find the advantage will get the advantage and get their vote back, and the person who does not find it will lose their vote. If nobody finds it before the time runs out, then it expires. It means nothing. Or if you all move all of the sandbags before anybody finds it, then it means nothing, and you guys both get your votes back, and it's a-okay. Nate hears MC reading this and realizes immediately he cannot be MC at a foot race, and so it is sort of an immediate chance that he would lose his vote. And so he quickly sort of swoops up and is like, hey, how about we finish moving the bags, leave one bag, and then we can work to find this advantage. Just to make sure that we both, at the end of the day, still can keep our votes.
Imagine, though, like, if MC hadn't called him over to read it, and so he has
Right.
his back turned, he's carrying the bag down the beach, and then he turns around and she's gone.
That would have been iconic. I'm
That
sorry.
would have been so funny.
MC, I need you to be a little more cold-blooded. Well, because it's like, what are the odds that she would have found something? Well, I guess she found the beware advantage, so she's sort of familiar with the idea of finding an advantage in the jungle. But
But I'm not mad about how this played out.
I know, I'm not either. MC quickly agrees to Nate's plan, and they finish moving the rest of the bags, and they take the final bag and move it like 3/4 of the way to the finish line, and they drop it there, because if they brought it over the line, then that would have ended everything. They then each go to look for the advantage, and Nate, again, he doesn't necessarily want the advantage, or he doesn't want it, but he doesn't necessarily want MC to have it either, but he made a promise that this is how they were going to do it. So they both sort of go off. Nate's like half looking. MC's really looking. And he's just like, I don't know if I want her to have it. So he comes back. The timer probably has like a quarter of the time left, half the time left. I don't know. And
it was definitely not intended for them to do things the way they did.
right. And so they, Nate is like, MC, time's getting slow. And then MC comes back and is like, it's not really that slow. But she doesn't have the will to, like, fight about it. Like, she's not going to push it. So she's like, you know what? Whatever. I don't have the energy for this right now. Let's just wrap it up.
And I feel like it makes her seem like more of a team player.
Right. And that's a good, genuine connection to have come.
Yes.
Merge.
With this sort of looming old Hina versus old Uli showdown situation. Like,
right.
I think she did the best thing. I also really like this idea of, like, working together to basically finish it, and then I don't know, I thought it was, even though, like, I know Nate had his own motives behind it, I was like, I kind of like this.
Yeah. Well, that's it. They wrap up on the journey, and they go back to their individual tribes. We start back at the Hina tribe. MC comes back, and she is exhausted. She is tired. She's explaining what happened, and she's like, I'm traumatized by sandbags. Like, I can never do this again. I love they come back, and who was it? Alex was like, oh, you're, like, dirty. Like, you have, like, sand. You're, like, sweaty, and there's sand all over you. What is going on? Yeah, and MC's just like, that was exhausting.
What a physical episode for MC and Nate specifically to have to do that, and then, like... That's challenge.
What I was saying during the immunity challenge. I was like, fuck, like, I'd hate to be MC or Nate right now. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
And you can't really, well, obviously you couldn't bench Nate because they weren't able to bench anybody, but you can't really bench MC because she's kind of like the physical one on your tribe. Like, you can't really, like, not have her perform.
Yeah.
So that's wild. It was a very physical episode for them. While MC's sort of explaining the situation, Shannon kind of suddenly gets up and walks off, and Sage takes that as her moment to open up. She takes this and says, I just want to let you guys know that I am with you 100%. Shannon is not as with you as you guys think she is. I want to work with you. And then she takes this moment to expose the Uli tribe in general and says that Rizzo has the advantage on the tribe, and I'm sure he has the idol now because he found the beware advantage. And she sort of used that to explain the steps, and MC was like, that sounds right. Like, I believe her because that sounds exactly like what I had to do for my advantage, or have to do for my advantage. And that really builds trust with people because now, and Sage says it herself, she's like, did Shannon tell you guys about this? And they're all like, no. And she's like, exactly. Like, I'm willing to work with you. I pinky promise. Like, I'm here until the end.
I loved this for her.
It was perfect. It was a perfect use of information. She didn't give more than she had to. She didn't throw anybody else under the bus.
And she gave out information that, like, she knew that Rizzo having this was never going to benefit her. Like, no. There is no reason for her to protect them.
Yeah.
But she did it so strategically, specifically with not having Shannon there. I was like, great read on this situation.
I know. And she knows that it's bubbling. She knows that the conversation around camp has been happening, that distrust is sort of stemming from this.
Waiting to do it until she had the confirmation that other people were feeling the same way. Perfect.
No notes. It was well executed. It was quick. It wasn't dragging Shannon. It wasn't like, you can't trust her. She's untrustworthy. You can't, blah, blah, blah. It was just like, I need you guys to know that it was about her. I have more faith in you guys, and you guys should trust me more than you trust her.
And I feel like that was really just brave of her to do in that moment, too, with, like, everyone gathered like that. Right. It wasn't these little conversations. She was... on Real Housewives, I really hate this woman, Brittany on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. She likes to do this annoying thing that I'm glad that Sage didn't do necessarily, but Brittany, they'll be having a conversation and Brittany will go, I have an announcement. Because she wants to make everything about her all the time.
Right.
But Sage did it in such a, like, I don't know, just, she did it so well. She read that room so well.
Yeah, it was calm, it was concise, it was clear, it was great. And then we go back to the Kelly tribe, and Nate talks about the challenge, but he doesn't bring up that there was an advantage at risk. It was just like a lose it or win it. So, like, keep it or lose it situation. Sophie and Savannah are talking about life, and they are talking, and Juwan, like, comes to sit behind them, and that really catches Savannah off guard. She's like, oh my god, stop following me. And Savannah kind of snaps. She's like, he will not let me just have my own conversations. He is always around me.
That would bother me so much.
I don't know. Again, I'm not there 24/7. I just have a feeling it's just like one, like she's just looking. Oh, in is also gone. Half my heart is all my shirt says right now. I don't know. Again, it's the edit. I'm not there. I don't know the reality of 24 hours in a day, how often Juwan is spending next to Savannah. But I feel like what's happening is that Savannah is so locked in on her annoyance of Juwan, and that she's just looking for something to complain about.
Every little thing Juwan's going to do is valid, and I can
understand. Baby, being a hater is being a hater, and that's a valid life to live. But I'm just like, you're being so quick to just like talk your shit. And, like, be like, he's always around me, he's blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know if it's like that. I don't know if he's doing it intentionally, but...
It's just his presence at this point.
Right. Like, we didn't get a confessional from him being like, I'm watching Savannah. Like, we're not being set up in a way for it to seem like Juwan distrusts Savannah and this is a two-way thing. Like, it's very clearly... It's at this point, we're seeing it as, like, a one-way Savannah...
Yeah, like, it doesn't feel intentional by him at all. It kind of seems like, well, there were two people sitting, chatting at the shelter.
At the shelter where people sleep, and it looked like he wanted to rest.
And, like, I might go hang out with people.
Right. So that was interesting. But we hop over to the immunity challenge now. Finally, I feel like it's going on forever. Like,
it took a long time to get to this challenge.
It was. We spent a lot of time on the journey this episode. A lot of time. I think there was a commercial break at some point. Like, I was like, we spent a lot of time with MC and Nate. The immunity challenge is pretty simple. There's actually not that many steps to it. They start off and they have to swim to a cage. They then have to get the cage, untie some sandbags, untie some extra bamboo, and use the bamboo to lift the cage up. They then have to walk the cage to the beach, very far into the beach, and place it in a specific designated spot where there's some balls. They then have to dig somebody out from under the cage, one person who will be with the retriever, and from inside the cage, the rest of the tribe has to shoot the balls into the baskets. The first team to get all 3 balls in all 3 baskets will win immunity.
Yeah.
Pretty simple challenge. It's pretty neck and neck. It's a very exhausting challenge. At one point, Nate like snapped at Nate snapped at RZGOD. Rizzo was like, Nate, you have to move it a couple feet, and Nate was like, I know, shut up. I was like, oh my god,
bro is tired.
That's supposed to be your buddy. You're telling him to shut up. And yeah, Nate was tired. MC was tired. I wrote down, I could not imagine doing this after the activity they just did.
MC is such a just machine.
She is.
When it comes to these challenges.
MC. I'm obsessed with her. She's sort of like a kind of a perfectly well-rounded Survivor player.
She really is.
Like, I know we're only 5 episodes in, but I'm like, she kind of like is perfect.
Everything I've seen from her, I'm just like, wow, you were doing it.
Is romantic. Sandra Diaz-Twine, love Charlie XCX.
Yeah, I'm sure she's a big fan.
Sandra Diaz-Twine is Brat at the end of the day.
Oh, she is original Brat.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all can't outdo the doer, babe.
We are sort of Brat.
What?
Sandra and Courtney. They're Brat.
That is Brat. Like, that's very...
They're so girl, so confusing.
It is so girl... Well, sort of, kind of. Everything is romantic. The challenge is pretty neck and neck. Another sort of Gen Z moment from Rizzo this episode. Before he makes his first basket, he says, "This is for Luca," and then he tosses the ball into the basket. You know Luca?
No.
The basketball player?
No.
Luca Don. He was like on Dallas, and he was like a really big Dallas. What's the Dallas basketball team? Hey Siri.
I know nothing about.
What's the basketball team in Dallas? Girl, that didn't answer my fucking question. Let me turn her off before I talk my shit. Hold on. Because, girl, she be listening. The Dallas Mavericks. He was, like, really big on the Dallas team. He was, like, their star player. Dallas obsessed with him. Loved him. He was, like, the face of that organization. They traded him to the Lakers.
Oh.
And it was, like, really heartbreaking.
What does that have to do with Rizzo?
Oh, he said for Luka. I'm guessing that's who he was talking about. I was like, it was just a very Gen Z thing. Like, it was very, like...
Are you super into basketball?
No, I'm just into pop culture.
Oh, when? Okay.
My stepmom and dad are very into basketball, and so I sort of, like, get that from them. I get it from them. No, I just get my information from them. I also, I don't know, I felt like it was, like, a big thing. I feel like people were talking about it. It was, like, a big trade. No?
I have no idea.
It's just me being a boy. Like, it's just boy things. This is just me being a boy.
I did get a notification from the New York Times, breaking news, a few minutes ago, that the head coach for the Portland Trail Blazers was arrested for sports betting.
Oh, I will be talking to my stepmom about that tomorrow. I am gonna have to get her deets on that. Long time ago, I have, like, familial relations to the Portland Trail Blazers.
Really?
Yes. One of my I don't know exactly, so I'm not going to really go in depth with it because I don't know how exactly, but I know at some point in my family, someone was married to a Portland Trail Blazer, and this was a long time ago. This was, like, before I was alive, long ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
get those courtside seats?
I don't know if you ever needed any seats or anything. That's the tea. That's my tea. That's my truth. And yeah, so Rizzo makes a few baskets. He says for Luka, which I'm guessing again about Luka. And then
I assume that was like a family member or something.
He said, I did get PTSD flashbacks to season 42 when he goes to throws the ball and says money and then misses. Flashback to our friend JD on Survivor 42. You know, okay, if we're talking about Survivor 50, why the fuck are neither Shan or Ricard on Survivor 50? Don't even get... I know that Shan has not really aged gracefully since her time on season 42. But guys, like, you just had... Like, that was the moment. I'm sorry. Wait, no, that was season 41. Were they on 40? No, they were on 41.
They were on 41,
wasn't even 42. Yeah. Girl, I'm talking like I knew something to talk about. No, 41, you just had to be there. I'm sorry. That was the moment.
I'd be willing to overlook a few things to get Shan back on my screen.
That's all I'm saying.
Specifically, if Ricard is on.
If Ricard is on, you need both of them. It's a package deal.
I kind of think so.
I think it is too.
Because she might be kind of chained. I don't know if she's going to bring the same energy. Unless it's like a long time rivalry, you know?
Season 41. Can you, like, gag and can you believe that? Can you gag and believe that?
No.
Do you believe it and gag on it?
What a crazy time.
It's giving gag on it. It's giving Journey.
It's giving Journey.
It's giving Journey. Anyways, I gag Shan.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I'm having flashbacks right now. That was just a moment. Like, Maddie's senior year, or I guess junior year of college, final year of college, like, that was really, like, the moment. Survivor 41 and 42, we give it a lot of shit, but, like, they really brought it back. I'm sorry, but they did.
I had such a good time watching.
Well, I know you hate Marianne, so that kind of ruined 42 for you, but it really, like, such good, like, it was just, like, Survivor's back, y'all.
Mm-hmm. It's back in a big way.
It's back in a big way. Like, you guys, like, Survivor's trending. I don't know, where are we at this challenge? Anyway, it's pretty close. Again, I keep saying that. It was really close. But Kelly ends up, again, oh my god. They end up pulling out the win at the end of the day. And Kelly wins immunity.
Yeah.
Sophie's going back to her 5th consecutive tribal council. And
your girl has been through the ringer.
That's my wonder pick, babe. That's all these gray hairs in my head. She's stressing me out, y'all.
You should write her a strongly worded letter about that.
I'll get on it. I'm really excited to see the Sage and Shannon blow up, but I guess I'll just have to wait another week. Savannah sort of has a mini breakdown on the mat post-challenge about how exhausted she is. And how hard that is making the game.
It would be rough.
Sophie said, imagine how I feel.
Imagine how tired we are.
Imagine how tired I am. We post-challenge. I forgot to say, they were playing for chickens, you guys. That's sort of a big part of this episode. I did forget to mention. The reward for the episode for winning the challenge, and we're going to get into it right now, was chickens. Live chickens. And we don't have to spend too much time on it. It's kind of traumatizing, but there's always a moral dilemma with chickens. Do you kill them? Do you keep them? Like, what's the plan with the chickens? And my moral dilemma and ethical dilemma in this, specifically within this tribe, is Survivor production has to know that none of these people know how to kill a chicken.
Right.
Like, how are you going to give live chickens as a reward with the expectation that they are going to kill them and eat them? Nobody knows how to clean, kill, I can admit that Alex and Steven were very brave in doing what they did and picking up the role and doing that. But I'm like, I would assume that the way they went about it was probably not the right way. Again, they didn't show them killing, and like, too many thoughts. They didn't show them killing the chicken, so I have no way of knowing how they actually killed the chicken. I could assume maybe they had somebody from production or someone from like the Fijian team come in and be like, "This is how you do it," but then like had them do it.
I think they kind of knew.
I mean, I guess there's only like so many ways you can kill a chicken, but still, I'm like.
I
think of like people in the past. I'm thinking of like JT. I'm thinking like people who have experience in like farm handling. Like they know how to do it. You wouldn't throw somebody like Alex had never killed anything before. Like that's kind of so traumatizing.
I wish that they could have had the choice between chickens or
raw
cooked chicken.
I feel like that's
even raw.
A good, well, I cooked, I don't think it makes a difference, but I think you're right. I think that's a good, instead of getting 3 live chickens, maybe the trade is 1 cut up, cleaned, cooked or raw chicken that you have to cook yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Like, you get to pick either or.
I feel
like in the past, you keep the chickens around, you get the eggs, like, you have your camp chickens. So I can see, I would like them to have the choice, but I don't like that they have to kill it.
Yeah.
It just feels like that's not, I don't know. I just don't need that on Survivor.
I don't, and hey, I hate to say it again, feels like Emmy bait.
Yeah. Like, look at the shock value moment.
The shock value and the emotional moment. Sage is crying because she had pet chickens growing up, and Alex and...
it's so crazy.
I'm sorry, another great confession of this episode, I referenced it earlier, but Alex being like, growing up, like, I just ordered DoorDash to my high-rise apartment. Like, people would not assume that I'd do something like this, and now I'm on Survivor doing it. I'm like, girl, this isn't what you're not doing what you think you're doing, but I have to respect the hustle. Like, I have to respect that everybody needs to have their moment on Survivor.
Yes.
I didn't mention it. We also had a big moment from MC this episode where she talks about sort of her body consciousness growing up and how she felt like she would get bullied for her body, and so she hid it, but now she's much more confident in herself and her womanhood and her body, which I love.
Holy crap.
So you sort of compare that to Alex.
Alex, I hear you. But no, I just don't think... It kind of surprises me that this whole sort of thing is even on, like, the network.
Right.
Like, watching them, like, try and figure out how to kill a live animal?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels like not very, I don't know, PC these days.
The woke left is trying to take chickens out of the shows. Ugh, I'm over it. They end up killing it. They end up eating it, and they were eating the fuck out of that chicken, girl. They were chowing down, and the chicken's poor little friends had to watch that happen. Like, that's kind of sad.
Luckily, I think chickens are pretty dumb, but...
Speak your truth, queen.
Hey.
We end up going back to the Hina tribe, and things are in motion here. We have to talk about tribal.
Yeah.
Sophie is gassed out right now, and I think this is sort of the last big topic I wanted to talk about this episode, and because I feel like this might be contributing to a lot of people's sort of neutral, borderline negative opinions about what's going on this season, is the lack of energy. How is this fun
No.
to watch?
Yeah, I get
Sophie
that.
very clearly wants to play the game of Survivor. She wants to strategize. She wants to make moves. She wants to do things. We've obviously seen that from her the past 4 episodes where she's gone to tribal. Like, we know what she's capable of doing and strategizing and thinking. She has not ate food other than coconut for the last, 10
This is
days
day,
probably?
Yeah, like 8 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
It's just not even a comparable situation to the other people. Like, she is having to work from literally 0.
0. Like, she's on negative at this point. So it's interesting to watch in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's interesting to watch in a bad way. I'm like, this isn't fun to watch people unable to play the game because they're so exhausted. Like, that, from a viewer perspective, it makes it boring.
Yeah.
I'm like, these people can't do anything. They're so, like, they're not gonna be over the top in confessionals, in the game, because they are starving.
How are they even supposed to make decisions on
Right.
things? Like,
We see MC this episode literally is like, I'm just gonna take the easy way out because I don't have it in me to do more than what is necessary, the bare minimum.
yeah.
So that's really, it's hard to watch. It's not fun to watch.
No, that's a really good point, and I really hope Survivor production like takes this into account, especially because they're so early into the game.
And
like,
I don't know.
it's different when you're seeing people that are completely depleted at the end, and you've been on this beach for like almost a month.
It's more symbolic that way.
Huh?
It's more symbolic at that point.
Yes, but when she's also looking at it like, I'm exhausted now, and I have so far to go.
Right, like, you're not even at the halfway point yet.
No.
You're still climbing uphill. Survivor, this episode production was doing a lot of showing how hard Survivor is, telling the audience instead of showing us. That's what I mean to say. They're using confessionals, they're using they're using the players to emphasize to the audience how hard Survivor is. And I'm like, I don't need you to tell me how hard it is. I can see how physically exhausted these people are, but you're trying to defend your actions through your players to your audience. And I'm like, I don't think you should be using your players as a pawn in your trying to persuade the audience about the state of your game. Mm-hmm. The players should be able to just play the game without production trying to use them to portray a certain thing.
I want to see Sophie play the game.
I agree. And again, another asterisk, like the pushback against this, and you sort of hear it in the, not to jump to tribal, but one of the early things that Jeff says at the tribal council tonight is he points out that it is a 26-day game instead of a 39-day game. Mm-hmm. And I understand sort of where production is coming at, right? Because if you are playing the same exact way, if the format is the exact same from the 39 days instead of implemented into the 26, it's much easier on paper, right? Like, on paper, you'd think, 39 days is harder, but production is working to make the 26 days just as hard.
In a short amount of time.
Yeah, by making it more, by taking away the flint and the rice. It's like, okay, well, we're not giving you the bare necessities you'd get on a 39-day game, because at that point, it's just going to be a walk in the ballpark.
Yeah.
So, like, I can understand what they're trying to accomplish, but still, I'm like, it's not fun to watch.
Yeah. I think they've almost, like, swung the pendulum a little bit too far.
Yes, I agree.
There's a limit that I think they have crossed.
I'd be interested to see what this is going to look like in Survivor 50, because I can't imagine all of the old schoolers are going to come on and be like, oh no, this sounds fun, to starve for 26 days.
Well, and it's also tough when people are having such different experiences, specifically like with this 3-tribe thing in the beginning, how Sophie has had nothing this entire time. Mm-hmm. But then, like, I don't remember what episode it was, but one of the people on another tribe was like, I've eaten fine. Like, I'm not hungry.
I think it was Sophie, the other Sophie.
Yeah. And she was like, we're full and good over here. And so it's just like Sophie, your Sophie has just been like, I don't know, almost set up to fail moving on from this. Mm-hmm. Like, because she had such a crappy tribe from the beginning that she didn't have control over.
Mm-hmm.
But she's still playing her best. Like,
Yeah, she's doing what she can do.
yeah.
To quickly sort of recap the rest of this episode, because there's not, as much as Survivor tries to make out like something's happening, nothing really happens. The big push is, okay, Jawan needs to make Jason feel comfortable. So the two of them talk, and Jason's like, we should vote Rizzo tonight. And Jawan's like, sure, that works. But obviously, Jawan wants to stick with his power group.
Mm-hmm.
Savannah is annoyed with Jawan, and she's like, why would I want to keep somebody in this game that is stressing me out when this game is already inherently stressful enough? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So she goes up to Jason and is like, Jason, I like you. I want you to do well. I'd like you to stay in the game. You should push to people that you are sort of the connecting piece left in this game for the Hinas and the Ulis, the OGs. And Jason takes that and sort of runs with it. And then he starts talking to people. He talks to Rizzo and he talks to Nate and is like, I'm your guys' tether. Like, use me as that piece. And then Nate is like, oh, maybe we should vote Jawan out, and approaches Savannah about it and is like, let's vote. How would you feel about that? And Savannah's like, I live, laugh, love. That would be amazing. So that's sort of the back and forth. It ends up being, okay, are the OG Ulis going to flip on Jawan? Or are they going to vote Jason out?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we go off into tribal. It's a pretty simple tribal. Jawan has some really vulnerable moments where he's like, I'm not a great talker. This is really scary for me in a group setting, and I have a hard time. And they sort of break that down a little bit and talk about it and what that means. Riz God has a good quote where he says, I might not be the best at the game. Or he's like, you kind of have a reflective moment out here at one point where you're like, I might not be playing a good game right now. I also might not be a good person. Like, you sort of have these personal reflection points where it's like, wow, like, I might just be bad, like, in general. Like, I just might not be...
let's just be bad
tonight. Ugh. Ooh. That was my impersonation of Riz God.
Thank you, Sandra.
And that's really it. There's just some Jawan being vulnerable moments, but ultimately ends up being a smooth vote. It's a 5-1 vote. Jason votes for Rizzo. Everybody else votes for Jason. And Jason is gone off in the distance.
Yeah. Bye, buddy.
Goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. And that wraps up the episode. Gag on that. We have another swap next episode. Into 3 tribes of 4 people. Could you believe it? No. Could you believe it? No, but could you believe it?
What is production trying with these?
I don't know, but I'm low-key. I hate to say it.
I'm kind of excited.
I'm kind of excited for it. I love the shakeup. I love a shakeup. I love it. Like, nobody was going into the season was gonna expect 3 tribes of 6, 2 of 7, 3 of 4. Like, that's such a, like, they haven't done that yet. And I'm excited about it. I like it. And this is what we've been asking for.
We said this, I think, maybe even in the premiere episode. It feels like they're trying things right now ahead of 50.
Prep for 50. Right. Like, I think prep for 50, but because 50 is going to, I'm assuming, a way different format. I think the rumor, the thing is they might be doing double eliminations every episode. Like, there's a lot of in the rumor mill. But I think you're entering a new era. Post season 50 is going to be a whole, like,
they got to bring something new.
The new era is going to be over. It's not, like, we're not going to keep pushing this. Like, it'll be
it's the 50s.
It's the 50s. We're in a whole new thing. So I think they're trying new things now. They're testing the waters to hopefully get a good foundation going into 50, and then post 50, 51 through 59, like, knock on wood that we get that many. Girl, if we don't go to 59, this is our jobs. Everybody's worried about the government shutdown, the government employees, how are they getting their money? Baby, Maddie and I need to make our money.
Exactly.
If this podcast, if there's no more Survivor, there's literally nothing for us to talk about anymore. Not only will Maddie and I no longer have a podcast where we make millions of dollars,
we won't even be friends.
We won't be friends anymore. Like, that's it.
Our whole relationship is riding on this show.
It is. You guys don't understand.
No, I think this is actually a really good season for them to try things.
I think so too.
They have such in my opinion, a cast that, like, wants to play.
Right.
And they want to play Survivor. And, like, they aren't looking to do things different. Like, 48, it felt like, yes, it's Survivor, but these players want to make it their own game, and they don't want to play Survivor.
Right.
These people, they are down to play. They are thinking, they're scheming. And I feel like doing a little shakeup like this,
it's good.
I can't think of a better season to do it on.
We do have some fun dynamics. Through the promo for last episode, do we want to talk about who's on which tribe?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
So on the new Hina tribe, the brand new Hina tribe, MC, Rizzo, Savannah, and Sophie. So my Sophie.
I'm scared of this group.
That is scary for MC, I do have to say.
Yeah.
I do think that Savannah, Rizzo, and MC are good challenge performers, specifically Rizzo and MC, so hopefully they'll be able to, like, keep them alive. But of the four of those people,
I'm
it's
not
obvious
liking that.
MC is the one that is on. But she has her idol.
Hopefully she gets that thing.
Knock on wood.
It gets her vote.
Knock on that thing. Like, hopefully. That
Sit
would be
on
really... Sit on it, Steve! On that. There's a lot... MC could be swap screwed here. We'll have to knock on wood and hope for the best. The new Keela tribe is Jawan, Sage, Shannon, and Steven.
What a weird group of people.
So on paper, obviously, you'd think Steven is the one that would be worried, but Sage obviously hates Shannon and has already instilled that in Steven and her trust in Steven. And Sage and Jawan knew they were on the bottom of the Uli tribe together.
Yeah.
Gag on that.
But what a group of weirdos. Can
Group
I say
of
that?
weirdos. That's a weird tribe. And they're going to be on the Kela beach, which means they have nothing. And then our new Uli is back again, y'all. Everybody was like, oh my god, they left all the Uli stuff at that camp. Maybe it's because they were still... it wasn't done. The Uli camp was not done. Mm-mm. Alex, Christina, Nate, and Sophie. An interesting group of people in the sense that I don't think any of these people have talked to each other. And also,
No.
we've heard nothing from Sophie. We've heard barely anything from Christina. Haven't really heard from Alex since... the first swap. So the Uli tribe is
they put all the main characters on one tribe.
Right.
Besides Sage.
It's just interesting. It's an interesting...
It'll be
interesting. I feel like on paper, the Uli tribe is probably... the new Uli tribe is probably the one that is going to maybe hit tribal first.
Can you remind me who's on it?
That's Alex, Christina, Nate, and Sophie.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like that they might have the least sort of...
Mm-hmm.
To quote Mike Bloom, they might have the least amount of there.
Hey, but your mom said that OG Hina
That's true.
was gonna struggle, and so did a lot of people.
That's true.
Oh, it
Well,
should be drama.
It should be drama, and I'm excited. I'm excited for 3 tribes of 4. There's no room to hide on 3. Wait, 4 tribes of 3. There's nowhere to hide on.
Wait,
4
3 tribes of 4.
Fuck, guys, math is
4
so
tribes
hard.
of 3 would be crazy.
Guys, math is hard for us on this podcast. We never said that we were a math podcast. You guys.
Dying editing last week's episode of the fraction section.
I was trying so hard. I think I retyped 3 tribes of 4, 4 tribes of 3 multiple times. I also was sitting there because my episode anyway, I had to get this news on Twitter because it cut out. It was a weird thing. My Paramount Plus, fuck you Paramount Plus. But I was like, wait, how many people are left in the game? How many tribes are they going to do? It's not an even amount of people. And then it is an even amount of people, but it is 3 tribes still, so it'll be okay. But yeah, that's the episode. Thank you for joining the spooky season our Halloween episode. What did you dress up as last year? I couldn't remember. Did you dress up as something? Yeah, you did.
I was Jeff last year.
You were Jeff last year. Did you wear that hat too?
Yes, and I put a Survivor sticker on it last
Right.
time.
And I was Angela Murray, Queen Mother.
Okay, I was looking through... Okay, sometimes I like to do a TikTok roundup of things that I liked, and then I show Logan. Uh-huh. And I was looking back through... Oh, it might have been actually when I was looking for a recipe. I was scrolling. Stumbled upon the TikTok that you made on your personal account of you as Angela. Why is that one of the funniest TikToks I've ever seen?
My lip syncing. Like, I ate that.
That costume was amazing.
Thank you so much.
I feel like you didn't get enough love for your pigtails this week. Or like you didn't show them off enough?
Well, it's hard because they're behind my headphones, you guys. But I had. But she's the moment. She's the moment. Thank you very much.
It's actually perfect.
We went out. We sort of went all out with our costumes this year. Like I feel like we put like little design work in them.
Yes.
We'll have to put up a side by side. Well, maybe I'll clip that. That'll be one of the clips this week.
Well, at the end we should like take a picture.
I don't have half of it. My shirt.
Well, you look good from this side. This angle up.
Thank you all for watching. If you liked this, you can like, comment, and subscribe on this YouTube and the YouTube video you're watching. You can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Making Fire Pod, where we have so much fun in the sun. And join us next week for the next episode of our coverage of Survivor 49.
Yeah.
Episode 6. Swap incoming.
Swap loading. If I was on a tribe with Nate, I feel like I would do everything just to try and annoy him.
We'll see y'all next time. I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Bye.
Smooches, bye. End the episode.